Alright guys, I'm at the property. I've been up here for a little while now. I'm exhausted. We had a funeral. Chris and I had a funeral. A friend of my family and his family. He passed away this past week. I think it was Thursday. And we had his farewell ceremony on Saturday. Mr. Harvey was 94 years old. Fought in the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and just a hero of men, absolutely. But anyhow, as soon as we were done with the funeral, which was around 1 o'clock, we got on the road and headed up to Kentucky. We had to go to the Kentucky-Indiana border, and Chris and his wife gets some really good, she gets all kind of promotional things for hotels because of the company she works at. And so we got a room, and it was a nice room. Everything was all right on there. Power kept going out. We got there somewhere around 11 o'clock Saturday evening, and tried to go to sleep. 2 o'clock. Every time the power would go out and come back on, the alarm clock in the room would go off. It would kind of make this loud noise, and I would wake up, and it finally went quiet. Then I woke up at 4 o'clock, and I tried to lay back down, and the bed was so soft, it really hurt my back. So we left, got on the road, made that last little leg of the journey. We had to pick up Chris's boat, and we went up, we got it, started coming back, and we went through some just nasty storms, lightning storms, just crazy. I'll add a little clip right here to the side where you guys can see how much lightning it was as we were approaching the storm. It was bizarre. And when we got in it, you could feel the static in the air. There was so much lightning. But anyhow, we made it back, got back home about 1 o'clock this morning. I had to get up early. We had to be up at the mobile home place at 8:30, I think it was, and or 9:30, I'm sorry. Kim had to be in Panama City at 8:30 for her appointment. Had to pick the grandbaby up at 6 o'clock, and then go to her appointment, and then come home and take care of the dogs, and then go to the mobile home place. And I'm so tired. And so we got back. I grabbed the tractor and trailer. I came up here. I got to try to disc this down. We've got to make this happen. I got to get everything prepared so when the house is built and they're ready to deliver it, that the property is set up. But anyhow, I am going to share. I've got. It's not an encounter. It is about what's called Florida Stonehenge, and really interesting. And I want to share that with all of you. May talk to you a little bit. It's getting late. I'm going to leave the tractor and the trailer here. I'm not going to hook it up. It'll take too long, and it'll get dark on me, and I don't want to be out here at dark, not by myself. Sorry guys, I'm so hot. I gotta get the notebook. I've been sitting on it. Oh, I bent it up. That's right. Oh, I gotta turn the wheel. I need to get my control knob. Here at the bottom. There we go. That'll help me hold my notebook. And this one, I have not prepared it because they come in these sleeves. Brother Don puts them in these sleeves for me, and it really makes things easier. And when I go to do an article that he sends, I'll take it out of the sleeve so I can just flip through it. And I did not do that today, but it's very simple. I'm just going to slide them out. So bear with me for a minute. There we go. I'm going to put this here at the front. What I do when I share an article with all of you, then I take it out of my notebook, and it goes in a separate, it was going in a separate notebook, and I've got two really big ones, and they're filled up. And so now I'm just stacking them. This does have pictures, but they're printed, and the way that he had to print them, they're just not good quality. Even if I could hold the camera perfectly steady and the lighting conditions were perfect, they would still not be real clear. But you should be able, I think he has a video ready to go with these pictures, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm so tired I can't remember. I talk to Brother Don almost every day, and I did speak to him today, and I think he said he had one uh, a picture video ready to go. Showing you guys all the pictures. And if you are not, if any of you, if you're not familiar with Brother Don, his name is Don Moore. He's got the YouTube channel, Don Moore's YouTube channel. But he's the one that provides all this information for me to share with all of you. He does a ton of research. There's so much work that he puts into this. And we've been talking for a while, and we did a poll to ask you guys your opinion, because what we do here, uh, a lot of it is based off your input. And the majority, the overwhelming vote in the poll was yes. You guys were interested in seeing the pictures on Brother Don's channel. And so we got it. We're still smoothing out the rough edges. We don't have it down to a science yet, but we will get there. What he waits on me. He puts the video together without a title, and then when I do the article and I do the finalization of the editing and I get it ready for upload, then I contact him with the title, and I send it to him in a text so that it's word for word. He can duplicate that title, and he uses that title in his videos, so when you go to look for the pictures of a certain article I've shared, then it'll have the corresponding title to his video as well. But anyhow, let's get on with this. I'm going to share this, and it's not very long, but it's just interesting. And the title of this is called The Mystery of Florida's Stonehenge. The year is 1923. The location is Coral Castle, that is in Homestead, Florida, which is Dade County. And the information source for this article is the Marion Citizen newspaper, dated March 3rd of 2023. I think the year, he may have accidentally put 1923. I think it's 2023, because the source where the information came from, that article's dated 2023. But he's human. He makes mistakes like all of us. I probably make more than 90% of you here. But we learn from our mistakes. If we don't never make a mistake, we'll never learn nothing. All right, the preface reads, "Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, prepare to be amazed and bewildered as we present the one and only Florida's spectacular Coral Castle." Yep, it sounds a little like Barnum and Bailey circus opening that promised to astonish their audience. Florida's Coral Castle does just that. It amazes everyone with its more than 1,100 tons of coral rock carved into a stone sculptured garden. Many compare it to England's Stonehenge or Egypt's Great Pyramid. However, there's one major difference. The Coral Castle's massive blocks were quarried, moved, and carved and positioned by only one man using only primitive tools. To this day, no one knows how he did it. Absolutely astonishing. A tribute to a lost love. Edward Lead Skalnin was born in Riga, Latvia in 1887. Fully grown, he was a little over 5 feet tall, and he weighed just over 100 pounds soaking wet. When Ed was 26 years old, his 16-year-old fiancée jilted him one day before their wedding. Heartbroken, Ed left Riga, Latvia, and for several years he roamed Canada and the United States working odd jobs. After being diagnosed with a touch of tuberculosis, he settled for health reasons in the warm climate of South Florida in 1918. In 1923, never forgetting his two-timing fiancée back in Riga, Latvia, Ed began building a monument dedicated to his lost bride in Florida City, Florida, a stone's throw from Miami. Oh, I'm sorry, Florida City, Florida, which is a stone's throw from Miami. For the next 18 years, Ed single-handedly cut and moved tons of coral rock from quarries close to his property. Coral rock, also called limestone, is a bedrock of dead sea life, part mollusks and part dried coral skeleton. Uh, part dried coral skeletal remains. I'm sorry, guys, I got tongue-tied. He carved massive stones into a garden with walls, furniture, tables, chairs, and gates, everything a castle would need. A solitary man, he did most of his work at night using only basic tools: saws, ropes, block and tackle, wedges, and a wagon. He used no power tools or large machinery in this monumental undertaking. He was able to lift, carve, and place stones apparently with ease. It took many years, but finally, in the early 1930s, Ed's tribute castle was complete. Over 1,100 tons of coral rock were transformed by one man into a stone palace. When asked how he cut and maneuvered such heavy weights, he replied that he'd discovered the secrets of levitation used in building the pyramids. There are rumors he used magnetism, anti-gravity, sound waves, and even a mysterious vortex found on his property to maneuver the massive blocks. One story has Ed placing his hands on the stones and they magically moved into position. Truth or fiction? We'll never know how he did it. Time to relocate. In 1936, Florida City became too crowded for Ed, so he dismantled and moved his massive stone fortress 10 miles down the road to Homestead, Florida. Again, under the cover of darkness, using a handheld lantern for light and basic tools, he was able to disassemble the huge rocks, load them on his trailer, and then reassemble them on his new property. He did have a friend, though, who during the day towed the trailer back and forth to his new location. When asked, the friend said he never saw Ed load or unload the trailer or assemble the stones. It took almost 4 years, but in 1940, Coral Castle was rebuilt in its permanent home. Ed continued to add to his castle until the day he died in 1951. The Coral Castle. The wall sections surrounding the stone fortress are 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and 3 feet thick, with each weighing more than 6 tons. The tallest structure is the tower. It stands over 2 stories high with blocks weighing 4 to 9 tons each. The total weight exceeds 240 tons. The largest gate is 1 stone weighing 9 tons and it's 8 feet high. It fits within a 1/4 inch of its surrounding walls. It's no longer working, but it's said that it was so well balanced that a small child could easily open the center swing gate with very little effort. The obelisk stands taller than Stonehenge and weighs 28 tons. Also, inside this engineering marvel are 25 rocking chairs, a 5,000-pound table shaped like a heart, and another table 20 feet long shaped like Florida with 10 chairs each at 1,000 pounds. A 5,000-pound rocking throne rests in the shadows of an overhead crescent moon with orbiting planets. Alongside it is a 30-ton, 25-foot Polaris telescope. Then there's a well, a sundial, a fountain, couches, beds, a grotto, and even a bathtub. Everything inside the castle is solid stone and measured in tons. Ed once said he didn't need fire insurance because there was nothing that would burn. Ed's legacy. Ed Leedskalnin died in 1951 at the age of 64, leaving no clues as to how he accomplished such a feat. He left Coral Castle to a nephew in Michigan. Coral Castle was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1984. Today, the castle offers daily tours where you can enjoy one of the world's most mysterious accomplishments, the Coral Castle of Florida. When you go, the only word to describe your experience is astonishing. I wish these pictures were a little clearer. You guys, they're pretty hard to make out, and that's not due to something Don done wrong. That's just due to how he had to get these pictures from the digital format onto paper. And Don is like I am. We are not technologically savvy. Neither one of us. That's very fascinating. Guys, we have a lot. I've got to be set down somewhere to share. These are the rest of them are the supposed victims of cryptid attacks. A lot of it is supposed dogmen or werewolf attacks. And I'm going to be sharing those, but I'm going to do those on a live show. I had several plans, trying to plan and get one set up to happen, and we've had so much piled on us, and I just can't plan anything ahead, and I apologize for that. But thank you all for hanging out with me. Guys, it's getting dark, and I'm going to get out of here. I heard movement one time back behind the camera, and it sounded like an animal, like maybe a deer or a rabbit or something. It wasn't real big, real loud, but I just want to go. It scares me to be out here when it's dark and it's time for me to go home. But I love y'all. God bless you. Y'all have an amazing evening. Be safe, be kind. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. I'm taking the camera off. That's where I had the camera mounted, right here, in case you're wondering, which I doubt anybody is. But anyway, the camera is on this pine right here. This is the pile. I'm moving all our piles into this one. Yeah, it's getting dark. Look at a little bird. Ain't he cool? But anyhow, I'm getting out of here. That's right over there, the same spot I heard the movement a minute ago. I'm going to leave the camera going until I get up to the truck, just in case. So it's probably going to get loud. I'm sorry. But guys, don't forget, hop over to Don Moore's channel to see the pictures for this article, the Florida Stonehenge. And let me get situated here. If you are not subscribed to Don's channel, I will put the link to his channel in the description below. So please consider subscribing to him. It'll help him out. And he just, if he can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, then he'll be able to do the live streams, take you guys out in some of these places where he goes. I'm going to go to a high gear so I can move. But yeah, Don goes to a lot of really beautiful areas, and he's got a lot of fascinating video clips of places he's been. He's found footprints from what we believe to be one of the big guys, and he's found footprints of what looks like one of these werewolf things. But he's got a lot of cool places he's been to, and I think y'all enjoy it. If you haven't seen any of his videos, his content, just remember he is learning. He just learned how to edit videos, but he will be better. he'll end up just as good as everyone else out here, probably better than most of us. But it's just something that he's just got to learn over time. It just takes practice, but he'll get it. Don's smart. He figures things out really quick. Just bear with him. If you subscribe now and hang out with him and follow him as he goes, you'll get to see his progression, you know, as he goes from an amateur at this to, you know, being, you know, pretty much a pro. You'll be able to witness that and be part of that. And, you know, there's so many of you that are here that have been with me from the start. And I've had so many kind remarks from all of you about the, you know, how much better my videos have turned out to be. I've learned how to use the camera correctly so that my videos aren't shaky and just oddball looking, and you know, all that's from all of you. Just this overall support from all of you, but you know, it takes that constructive criticism for us to improve and to get better. But guys, y'all have a good evening. I'm going to shut this down in a minute. I got to move the truck over here and get my, I gotta lock my brake. Get the trailer disconnected, and I'm gonna get out of here. It's getting dark really quick. The sun's already down. It was back there. And I'm gonna go home. But y'all have a good evening. Look, if any of you need to reach me, if you need you know, prayer requests, anything's going on, please email me. My email, I do not have the Outlook email anymore. I still get a few people that have reached out to me. They've emailed me. There's been no response and no response. And I can't find their email anywhere. And come to find out, they accidentally sent it to Outlook. But I do not have that account anymore. It's no good. So it's standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. That is my active email. And you can get me pretty easily there. I do check them. On average, it's about every 3 days. Sometimes they go a little longer if we get tied up. But yes, I do check them. Let me know. I've got some information to share with all of you. One of our brothers and sisters here has come up with an idea. We got a way that we can help people. And these are wonderful, amazing people. And he and his wife have trying to get my cup down. He and his wife have figured out a way that we can really do a lot of good for people who are in need. And I'm going to be sharing the details of that with you guys very, very soon. Y'all have a good evening. God bless you. I love you, and see you soon. Bye-bye.